Madame Irena Dubois, présidente de la Fondation Pierre du Bois pour l'histoire du temps présent, and Professor Jussi Animaki will be handing out this prize. May I ask both of you to join me on stage? Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, the Pierre du Bois Prize is awarded to the best doctoral thesis in international history defended in the International History and Politics Department at the Graduate Institute during the previous academic year. I am particularly happy because this year the prize goes to two brilliant researchers, ex aequo, to Dr. Michele Solai for his exploration of the history of the agrarian development in Ethiopia between the 1930s and the 1950s, and to Dr. Joel Alfred Veldkamp for his examination of the politics of the Christian communities in Aleppo, Syria, between 1920 and 1936. Professor Jussi Animaki, head of the Department of International History and Politics, will introduce their work in a moment. The prize carries the name of Pierre du Bois, my husband, who was a historian and who for the last 15 years of his life was professor of international history and politics here at the Graduate Institute. He left us prematurely, infinitely sadly, more than 15 years ago, in June 2007, at the age of 64. In keeping with his wishes, we established the Fondation Pierre du Bois pour l'histoire du temps présent with a mission of stimulating research in current history and supporting researchers and students in this field. Most of our activities are carried out in partnership with the Geneva Graduate Institute, to which I would like to express here my deepest gratitude. It was in the same spirit that we created also the Pierre du Bois Prize in Current History, awarded annually, which today honors Dr. Michele Solai and Dr. Joe Alfred Veldkamp. My heartful congratulations, dear Michele, and dear Joel, well done. I wish you every success in the future and all the happiness in the world. And now, please allow me to give the floor to Professor Jussi Animaki from the International History and Politics Department. You'll see.
Thank you very much, Irina. I mean, it's an absolute delight to share a very brief moment, I promise, with you to honor the memory of a dear colleague, Pierre du Bois, and of course to celebrate the achievements of two very talented young former doctoral students from our department who have accomplished great work amidst of all the difficulties that, of course, we have had over the past few years with COVID and so forth. I'm not going to go into detail. Very briefly, Joel Veldkamp, his thesis, as you can see, the politics of Aleppo's Christians and the formation of the Syrian nation state, 1920 to 1936, focuses on the political role that the Christian community, minority community in the city of Aleppo, played in the early formation of, indeed, the Syrian nation state, a story that, of course, continues to the present. It focuses on the actions, the perceptions, calculations, expectations, relationships, identity positioning of that particular Christian community in a very fluid state-building process in the Aleppine region and, of course, then in the context of the wider Levant region. The thesis makes a particularly important contribution to two fields: the social history of the Christians of Aleppo in the early to mid-20th century and to the political history of the Syrian state building. It uses a wide range of resources. The thesis provides a very nuanced discussion on the evolution of nationalism during this key period in the modern history of the Middle East. A development, as I said, you have all been witnessing in ups and downs over the past decade or so. The other winner, sadly, is not here. A reminder that COVID is still with us. I would like to, however, say a few words about Michele Solai's doctoral thesis, the co-winner of the prize. The thin green line, farmers, experts, and the practice of agrarian development in Ethiopia from the 1930s to the 1950s, which, as the title says, focuses on Ethiopia's agrarian development in a very tumultuous period in Ethiopian history, which covers changes such as the Italian occupation of Ethiopia, the British rule in Ethiopia after liberation in 1941, and then a series of interventions in the immediate post-war years. Solai's thesis has, like Beltkamp's, numerous great merits, presents an original and important contribution to several fields of research, among them the history of Italian colonialism, agricultural history in the 20th century, the history of development, and the history of international organizations. It demonstrates a notable ability to work with a range of sources and to weave them into an engaging narrative. So Michele, if you're online, congratulations from all of us. Can I ask Joel if you could
Also do a picture of this one.
And just to, you can imagine
Thank you, Jussi. Those prizes